What if someone returned to town, not for love, not for family, but for revenge? And what if that revenge could change everything in Port Charles forever? Hey everyone! Today's story from General Hospital is getting intense and honestly a little dangerous. A familiar face is back in Port Charles, but something feels different this time. Ethan Lovett isn't just visiting. He has a purpose, a dark one. And as secrets start to unfold, it's becoming clear that every move, every conversation is leading to one powerful and mysterious man, Sidwell. So what's really going on? And who's about to make a move that could shake the entire town? Let's break it down. Ethan Lovett's return didn't happen by accident. From the moment he stepped back into Port Charles, something felt off. You know that feeling? When someone shows up and you can tell they're hiding something? Yeah, that's Ethan right now. At first, it looked like a normal visit. Maybe he came back for family, maybe unfinished business. But deep down, people like Sonny could already sense it. Ethan is here for a reason. And that reason is Sidwell. Now things really started heating up when Ethan and Sidwell finally came face to face. The setting? The Metro Court Hotel restaurant. A public place. But the tension between them made it feel like a battlefield. What made this meeting even more chilling is that it wasn't really their first meeting. They already knew each other. Sidwell had done his homework. He knew exactly who Ethan was, and more importantly, who his family was. And then came the threat. Not a loud, aggressive one, but something much more dangerous. A calm, controlled warning. Sidwell made it clear. He knows where Ethan's family lives. Think about that for a second. That's not just information. That's power. That's fear. And Ethan? He's not the type to sit back and ignore something like that. This is Luke Spencer's son we're talking about. He doesn't run from danger. He walks straight into it. So when Sonny approached Ethan with a serious question, things took a very dark turn. Sonny basically asked him, for the right price, would you take Sidwell out? Let that sink in. This isn't just about revenge anymore. This is about elimination. Now the big question is, does Ethan actually want Sidwell gone forever, or is he planning something smarter, something more strategic? Because sometimes destroying someone doesn't mean killing them. Sometimes it means breaking their world piece by piece. And Ethan might just be the kind of person to do exactly that. Meanwhile, in another part of the story, Elizabeth is dealing with something completely different, but just as emotional. She finally managed to communicate with Drew. Now that might not sound like a big deal at first, but in a situation where communication is nearly impossible, even the smallest connection means everything. Elizabeth believes there are more ways Drew can reach out, more ways to send a message. But not everyone agrees with her. Nina clearly doesn't like this idea. Maybe she thinks it's too risky. Or maybe there's something else going on beneath the surface. But here's where things get even more interesting. Elizabeth is about to receive an update about Jason. And this isn't just any update. Jason is reportedly locked away in a prison in Jakarta, far away, isolated, and cut off from almost everyone. But what if he found a way to send a message? And what if that message reached someone unexpected, like his son, Jake? Now imagine being in Elizabeth's position, waiting, hoping, but also fearing what that message might contain. Because sometimes the truth isn't comforting. Sometimes it's devastating. Now let's talk about Valentin, because his story is taking a very emotional turn. Valentin is dealing with guilt, the kind that eats you from the inside. He has finally realized something shocking. Cullum was the one behind what happened to Anna, and that realization, it's tearing him apart. You can almost feel the weight on his shoulders, the regret, the frustration, the pain, and now he's ready to confess. Possibly to Carly. But what exactly is he going to reveal? Well, it could be about Cullum, or it could be about something even more urgent, Jocelyn, because she's heading straight into danger, and she doesn't even realize how bad it is. Valentin tried to warn her. He really did. But Joss? She's determined. She's not listening to anyone. Not Valentine, not authority, not even common sense. She's on a mission to find the truth, no matter the cost. And that kind of determination, it's powerful, but it's also very dangerous. Joss's investigation is leading her to Dante. And this is where things get complicated. Dante knows a lot, more than most people realize. He has information about Jason, Cullum, and even Britt's case at the docks. But there's another layer to this. Nathan. Before his death, Dante and Nathan were very close, best friends. So if anyone can give insight into Nathan, it's Dante. And Joss is starting to question something very important. Is Nathan really who he claims to be? Because let's be honest, coming back from the dead, that's not something you just accept without questions. There's something off, and Joss can feel it. So she turns to Dante, hoping to find answers. But what if those answers only lead to more questions? And now, we come back to Sidwell, the man at the center of everything. Sidwell sees himself as the smartest person in every room. Confident, calculated, always one step ahead. He believes he has control over Port Charles, leverage, influence, power. And for a while, that might have been true. But here's the thing about power. It doesn't last forever. At some point, people push back, and Sidwell knows that, which is why something is starting to feel off to him. His instincts are kicking in. On Monday, Sidwell becomes suspicious. But the real question is, who is he suspicious of? Is it Ethan quietly planning something? Is it Sonny making moves behind the scenes? Or could it be someone unexpected, like Lucy or Lucas? That's the scary part. It could be anyone, because when tension rises this high, trust becomes a luxury no one can afford. Now let's take a step back and understand why all of this matters. Port Charles isn't just a town. It's a place where history runs deep. Every character has a past. Every relationship has layers. Ethan's connection to his family, especially someone like Luke, means he's not someone who forgets or forgives easily. Sidwell threatening his family, that crosses a line you don't come back from. At the same time, characters like Sonny operate in a world where tough decisions are normal. Deals, risks, even life or death choices. So when Sonny asks Ethan about eliminating Sidwell, it's not just a random question. It's a reflection of how serious the situation has become. And then you have Joss, representing a younger generation. Fearless, curious, but sometimes unaware of how dangerous the truth can be. All these storylines are connected, like pieces of a puzzle, slowly coming together. So what does all of this mean for viewers? And for the future of the story? First, things are about to get explosive. Ethan versus Sidwell isn't just a conflict. It's a ticking time bomb. One wrong move, and everything could fall apart. Second, secrets are starting to surface. Jason's situation, Valentine's confession, Joss's investigation. These are all threads that could lead to major revelations. And finally, this is a turning point. Characters are being pushed to their limits. And when that happens, people either break or they change forever. So, what do you think? Is Ethan really planning to take Sidwell down? Or is there a bigger plan we don't see yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your theories. And if you're enjoying these deep dives, don't forget to stick around, because things in Port Charles are just getting started.